Since Across the Spider-Verse came out, everyone that has watched it has had many questions. But did you know a lot of these questions were actually answered by the directors themselves? This was done in the director commentaries that you got if you purchased the movie online. But today I'm going to be looking at the tweets from Ghostflower, which outlined every significant detail said during the director commentary. So be sure to follow her on Twitter and subscribe to my channel, and let's get started. So the first thing that was revealed is that Gwen and Miles are romantic. I thought this was pretty obvious since Miles had always had a crush on Gwen since Into the Spider-Verse, but Across the Spider-Verse did feel like Gwen was pushing Miles away, and that could be due to the fact that she didn't want to tell Miles he was an anomaly. But now that she is free from Miles, I guess that she's going to pursue Miles, because at the end of the movie, she did say she was going to help Miles. The next thing in the tweet was that Peter and MJ should be the standard. I'm not really sure what that means, so I'm gonna skip it. But if you do have any idea what this means, tell me down in the comments. If I were to take a wild guess, I would think that Peter and MJ being the standard is that it's canon for Peter and MJ to get married or be in love. But moving on, the next thing is that Hobie is Miles' greatest ally. I mean, this was pretty obvious. Even though Miles was a little bit jealous at him at first, Hobie has only helped Miles throughout Across the Spider-Verse. In this scene, he told him to use the palms of his hands, and after they saved Mumbattan, he even gave Miles a standing ovation. And finally, he helped Miles escape after Miguel trapped him. So if it wasn't obvious, Hobie was the MVP of Across the Spider-Verse. The next thing that was confirmed is that Miguel isn't as bad as we think. This one is actually one of the biggest revelations per se, because until now, most of the community and all of the videos on YouTube have theorized that Miguel was evil in one way or another, including myself. I mean, just look at all the facts. Everything pointed to Miguel making up the fact of canon events for his personal gain, but it seems like Miguel just got the entire thing wrong and it was an honest mistake. So probably halfway through Beyond the Spider-Verse, Miguel is gonna realize that he's wrong about canon events and start to help Miles. The next thing that was confirmed is that Jessica, Spider-Woman, is going to change her ways after realizing she failed Gwen. This was pretty evident because at the end of Across the Spider-Verse, she didn't alert Miguel or anybody else that Gwen came into Miles' universe. Instead, she sorta just watched, and I think she even felt proud of Gwen. If I'm being honest, I'm really happy that Jessica is going to change her ways because I absolutely hated her in Across the Spider-Verse. She was just really annoying and not a good mentor, unlike Peter B. Parker, who actually cared about Miles. Moving on, the next thing that was confirmed is that Hobie made multiple watches. I wonder if because of this, Gwen and Miles are gonna start their own spider society, but actually a good one, where the spiders help each other out instead of preventing the disruption of canon events and preventing spiders from making their own choices. A part of me also wants the Spider Society to be disbanded and also have the universes disconnected. The next thing is that Ben Reilly was sent to Earth 65, which is Gwen's dimension. I actually wonder why Gwen would put her enemy in the dimension where her father lived. If it were me, I would either put him back in his dimension or I would put him in a random dimension. That way he wouldn't be able to come back and he wouldn't be able to harm anyone close to me. Not that he would try to harm anybody close to me because he is Spider-Man, but he could take them. Next, we have that Margot Kess was inspired by Miles Morales. That's why she didn't turn off the Go Home machine and join Gwen in her team at the end of the Across the Spider-Verse. I like that this happened because I think Margot Kess is actually a really cool character. I also feel bad for her because of whatever is happening at her house. And fun fact, if you want to know who's on Miles' side at the end of Across the Spider-Verse and who's on Miguel's side, you can actually look at this poster. So in the poster, everyone to the right of Miles is on his side. You can see people who look like Gwen, Paviter, Hobie, and Spider-Bite who are on Miles' side. And on the left side, you can see Miguel, Jess, Drew, and Ben Reilly, who are all on Miguel's side. That's just a little fun fact. But moving on to the next thing, it's that Miles probably has photographic memory. Honestly, I'm not sure why there's a probably in there because this is the director's talk. But anyways, even if Miles does have photographic memory, I don't really know where this would be useful. It could have something to do with the fact that in the vision with Miles and the Spot, there's a quick frame that showed all of the Spider-Man dead by the hands of the Spot. So it could be that Miles will warn the Spider Society that this will happen, so a lot of Spider people don't die and their dimensions don't go without a Spider-Man. A question that did arise from this is that what happens if the Spider people die in one of their missions in the other universe, because Miguel said every universe has to have a Spider-Man. And obviously Spider-Man are not undefeatable. They can die. So what if one dies on a mission? What would happen then? If you have any idea, put it in the comments down below. But moving on, the next thing is that Miles and Gwen are connected over dimension. This was shown when Gwen realized Miles was in the wrong dimension, even though she wasn't in the same dimension as. I actually talked about this many times in my theories for Beyond the Spider-Verse video, so be sure to check it out after this if you want to learn more about it. But basically all you need to know about this, if you don't want to watch it, is that at the end of the movie, Gwen was able to sense that Miles was in danger and in the wrong universe, even though she was in a different universe than Miles. And a lot of people in the YouTube and Spider-Verse community theorized that they were connected, and this was basically confirmed by the director. The next fact is that Gwen was scared for Miles when they got to the Spider Society. For most of Across the Spider-Verse, I personally hated Gwen, and knowing this just makes me like her a little bit more, because this actually shows she cares for Miles. Also, if she was scared for Miles at this moment, just think of what Gwen thought was going to happen to Miles. She probably thought that Miles would be executed or something because she was so scared for him. And those are all the things confirmed by the directors of Across the Spider-Verse. So if you want to check them out for yourselves, go buy the movie. I believe it's on Apple Movies, or you can also check out the tweets in my description to get an overview of it. Also, check out my theory video for Spider-Verse as it goes in depth into Miles and Gwen's connection over universes. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.